Well, what do you know? Everybody's talking about the Chevrolet Corvette ZR1X. And no, the ZR1X is not a hypercar. Now, Corvette fans, Chevrolet fans, stick with me here. Stick around, because I think you're going to like what I have to say. How do we define a hypercar? Chevy states themselves that the ZR1X is a true American hypercar. Well, what does that mean? When you think of hypercars, you think of Bugatti, you think of Pagani, you think of Koenigsegg, you think of the Halo Ferraris and Lamborghinis. Cars that are multiple millions of dollars. And here the ZR1X is going to check in around 200K. Still a lot of money, but not multiple millions of dollars. If anybody's new here, my name's Phil. We talk about cars on here. Please give me a follow, give me a subscription, comment below. I'm really trying to grow this channel. I'm going to be reaching out to automakers soon for press cars. I'm going to try to start reviewing press cars. A $200,000 sports car is achievable for someone of the upper middle class, somebody that works hard, a professional, a business owner, what have you. Anybody that works hard and saves their money can eventually possibly obtain, and that's not the case with hypercars. Corvettes have always been an amazing bang for your buck, but that's not what a hypercar is. A hypercar is not accessible. A hypercar is not affordable. A hypercar is not a deal. A hypercar is not cheaper than everything else. So why does everybody insist on calling the Corvette ZR1X a hypercar? I mean, seriously, why? Because when we call the ZR1X a hypercar, I don't think we're doing it justice. I think the ZR1X is more than a hypercar. I think it's a hypercar slayer, a hypercar destroyer. That's what it is. And trying to fit in and trying to be a hypercar or trying to be a supercar even, that just doesn't work. Let the supercars be supercars and the hypercars be hypercars. And let the Corvette ZR1 and the ZR1X be supercar and hypercar slayers. Destroyers, because that's what they are, man. That's what they are. You cannot argue with the performance data. The data does not lie. 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds without a rollout. We're probably looking at 1.8 seconds. Quarter mile in under 9 seconds. That is insane. That's going to be faster than practically everything aside from the Rimac Nevera. I don't think it's going to be quite that fast, but I mean, we're talking about amazing numbers, amazing performance, and they're doing everything right. Corvettes have always performed exceptionally well, but this time around, Ferrari downsizes to a V6. All the automakers saying they're going fully electric, and Chevy drops the flat plane crank twin turbo V8, adds all-wheel drive, does electrification the right way, like they did with the Holy Trinity. If you don't know, that's the Ferrari LaFerrari, the Porsche 918 Spider, and the McLaren P1. Maybe the Trinity was peak hypercar. That's a discussion for another video. With all the emissions in Europe and the problems that hypercar manufacturers are facing now, it's harder for them to make the cars that the enthusiasts want. So the ZR1X checks all the boxes and more, and some. I mean, I can never imagine, I have dreams, I have fantasies, but I can't imagine owning a multiple million-dollar car, a car that costs $2 million, $3 million. That's just so insane. I mean, even a house that's $2 or $3 million is wild, right? But a $200,000 sports car, or a sports car that may be 140 in a few years, 120, that is obtainable. I can see that for sure. And that's the appeal. And so what? Who cares if the super rich don't like it or don't approve of it? I mean, who cares about them? Screw them. I think that's why we need to stop trying to make the Corvette a hypercar or even a supercar. I think it's fine just being a sports car. What's wrong with that? A sports car that destroys the performance of cars that cost multiple millions of dollars and now has a pretty good interior and a pretty good looking exterior as well. When you think of hypercars, you think of $30,000 tires. Yes, the tires on a McLaren F1 were around $30,000. The Bugatti Veyron had tires around $30,000 as well. $10,000, $20,000 service charges. It's like dating the supermodel. As to where the Corvette ZR1 is the beautiful girl next door that's really beautiful. She's just as pretty as the supermodel, and she does everything really well. She cooks, she cleans, she's organized, she makes a lot of money, and she doesn't give you a hard time. That's the Corvette ZR1. But I do think that the ZR1X is the most important sports car of the decade, because it is what the enthusiasts want. It is what people want. It's being received very well. They're going to sell all of these without question. Everybody's excited for this car. And believe me, there are plenty of hypercar owners with Bugattis, with Ferraris, with Koenigsegg's that will buy these cars for sure. Now, you know, it's still early. We will see how reliable the ZR1X is going to be. It could be plagued with reliability problems, because as we know, when you push power like that to those extremes, there's no guarantee that it's going to be reliable at all. And in a way, that's actually part of owning a hypercar, is dealing with the problems, putting up with the nonsense, because it's not for everybody. It is not for everybody. But I do believe that a hypercar should be exotic, it should be rare, it should be unobtainable. I mean, that's the entire appeal of it, is that out of this world performance. But you know, with technology in today's world, we've caught up to that. A potential investment for some of these hypercars, although we aren't going to see many hypercars get up to the $20 million mark like the McLaren F1. There's just, I mean, these cars, there can only be so many of these cars that get to be that valuable, even on the highest of the high levels. The other reason I would say the Corvette ZR1X isn't a hypercar is because it's based on the Corvette, and there are 4 or 5 variants of the Corvette. You have the standard Stingray, you have the E-Ray, you have the Z06, you have the ZR1, and now the ZR1X. As to where a hypercar should be a standalone car, where they make 500 units or 300 units or whatever. That's just my opinion. Like when Porsche made the 918 Spyder, that was their hypercar. They only made 918 units, and it wasn't based on a 911. Now the 911 GT2 RS is not a hypercar. You could even argue that it's not a supercar because it's based on the 911. And you have many variants of the 911. You have the Carrera S, the 4S, the GTS, GT3, GT3 RS, and yada, yada, yada. It's nauseating. The Corvette ZR1X is telling everybody, it's telling Ferrari, it's telling Bugatti, it's telling everybody that's going to act like they're not listening, that this is what people want, that they get excited about. They don't want electric supercars. They don't really even want V6 Ferraris. I mean, I love Ferrari. I've been a huge Ferrari fan since I was a little boy. And you used to be able to get that exotic engine, the V12. That was in nothing else. But the idea that it's a twin turbo 6 now just isn't appealing. And look, I'm sure it's going to be incredible. I'm sure it's going to be a blast to drive. They're bowing down to the governments of the world, that the climate Nazis, and they kind of have to do that, I guess, in Europe. But it's a letdown to the car enthusiast. A big part of the allure of the hypercar is it's impossible to own, it's impossible to afford. You have to get on their list, you have to buy several variants that you don't really want. Like with Ferrari, you have to buy the Roma, you have to buy the Portofino, the Spyders. You have to buy all the cars that you don't necessarily want. Spend millions of dollars just to hope to have a chance to get on their list. You have to jump through all the hoops. And for somebody that has done all that nonsense, they finally get to say, I have a hypercar now. I have a Ferrari LaFerrari. I have a Ferrari F60 or F50, and it truly is rare, truly is exotic, it truly is exclusive, even though it may not be the fastest car, especially by today's standards. I think you just have to have that exclusivity, snob appeal, whatever you want to call it, in order for it to truly be a hypercar. What are you guys' thoughts? Comment below. Is anybody getting a ZR1 or ZR1X? If so, let me know in the comments. I will be interested to see the performance data when it comes out, when people start testing these cars like Brooks from Drag Times. A hypercar is more than just the performance, both negative and positive. Hypercar Slayer, I think that sounds the best. That's better than Hypercar Destroyer, or definitely better than, we're a hypercar too, we're Chevy, we can make a hypercar, we're a hypercar. Trying to fit in. No need to fit in. We destroy hypercars. I think that's that's the way it should be presented. If I was on the marketing team, that's what I would do. Like, hypercars are overrated. We're dethroning all of them. You don't have to be a gazillionaire to afford our car. If you're a successful man and you're good with money, you'll be able to afford our car. And that's what's great about it. That's what's great. And still an expensive car. You're not going to see them everywhere. I mean, they're not going to be as common as Z06s even, let alone standard C8s. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you next time.